Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a tense standoff lasted hours yesterday and put the city of London on edge. And tensions remain high worldwide as the president continues to suggest the United States could take over Gaza.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and a happy Tuesday to you, Mountain family. My name's Amelia Lee, here with you on February 11th. It is 5:59, just 10 seconds away from 6 o'clock this morning. That means it's time to check on in with meteorologist Megan Dusmal for a look at the forecast this morning. Megan, it is a bit cold outside, and we've also got some of that snow as well. Haven't been outside since 4 o'clock this morning, but I know it was already starting to stick to the grass. So what can folks expect as they head to work today?
Well, we will continue to see that snow falling into our area, and yes, accumulation is possible as the system is moving through. I've been watching the cameras right outside of our door here, and we do have some accumulation on the ground. Now, the good news is those roads, for the most part, still are quite warm from the weather we've had the past couple of days, but sticking is not out of the question on those roadways. Still, make sure you are driving careful this morning. Here's a look at that live pinpoint Doppler radar. You can see the heaviest rain as you're traveling towards Perry, Leslie, Clay County this morning, and as you're traveling more towards Laurel and to the south of that, that's where you're seeing those rain chances in the forecast. Now, those temperatures are on the colder side today. That's why we see those snow in the forecast. Now, it will be colder as you're traveling more towards the north, warmer, where we are seeing those areas of rain. 37 in Middlesboro, and Jacksboro is at 36, well above that freezing mark. And again, that's why they're seeing the rain already this morning. Forecast highs, though, as we go into the afternoon, will be in the low 40s and upper 30s, meaning that we'll see that snow chance transition into rain as we're heading into the afternoon and evening hours. Here's how we'll get to those high temperatures over the next couple hours. Really just starting to see that warm up, hitting a high around that 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock hour, and pretty much staying around there as we're heading into the overnight hours as well. Amelia.
Thank you, Megan. Well, a more than 5-hour standoff ended with a man in custody after police say he barricaded himself inside an apartment following a domestic incident. London police were called to S&R Apartments on Barberville Street for a reported domestic assault at around 8 yesterday morning. Police found the reported victim safe, and she told officers 36-year-old Michael Caldwell was armed and barricaded himself. Police say their top priority is safety, and there are resources available for domestic violence victims.
Ultimately, that's what we want to happen. We want people to feel safe where they're at and can go home and feel safe. So, if you're in danger and you need us, call us. We're there to help you.
Caldwell eventually surrendered and was arrested yesterday afternoon. He is charged with wanton endangerment and assault. A business in Pike County is under the microscope after officials say its owner forged an alcohol license to sell alcohol. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has a look at the Pikeville restaurant and the city's response.
Nightmares Bar and Grill kicked off the new year with a grand opening in downtown Pikeville. But after a few weeks in business, an officer with the Pikeville Police Department raised concerns.
He had been to the facility and discovered that they were serving alcohol. And I advised him that they had not been issued an ABC license.
City Attorney Rusty Davis, who is also the city's alcoholic beverage administrator, says owner Rocky Newsom submitted an application for his license, but had not yet paid the fee to have it sent to Frankfort for consideration. But when he was reported to be selling alcohol on January 17th and was asked about his license, Davis says Newsom presented police with what appeared to be a forged document on an old letterhead.
He had not paid the fee until the Friday night that he apparently started selling alcoholic beverages. After business hours, he made the payment online.
Newsom was reported to the state's Alcoholic Beverage Control Office, and Davis says he sent an email to the city a few days after the incident, claiming the false license was a mistake that was made because of a pop-up that appeared, prompting him to fill out his temporary license when he paid his application fee that Friday. Quote, "I thought it was legit, because I had just paid $500 to Pikeville for something you sent me. So my mind was not thinking right. I did not call anyone or anything, and I take responsibility for that. I let myself make a dumb mistake, and I understand I have to fix it." However, when interviewed by ABC officers January 30th, a citation says Newsom admitted to investigators that he had Googled a Kentucky ABC license and had filled the form out himself, creating a forged alcohol license.
Had he not done what he had done, then Monday morning, routinely, I would have gotten notice of that and probably would have approved his application.
Newsom was charged with criminal possession of a forged instrument, and the city denied his application, with Davis saying he will not approve any future applications. But Newsom is welcome to challenge that decision with ABC.
I really couldn't trust him to follow the rules and regulations that are required to sell alcohol in the city of Pikeville.
The business has since changed its branding with signs outside that say, quote, "This is not a bar." And Newsom is expected to appear in court February 26th. In Pikeville, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
When approached by WYMT, Newsom deferred to his attorney. We've not yet received their statement about the incident. President Trump says the United States will impose a 25% tariff or additional taxes on steel and aluminum imports. Both are big industries in Kentucky, with some distributors in Perry County. Detroit Aluminum in Canada is a leading supplier here in eastern Kentucky.
I spoke with the owners of Dashcore Aluminum earlier this morning, and we're all, kind of in the same boat. We're waiting to see more of the specifics of what these tariffs mean and how that could impact their bottom line.
Colby Kirk says with added taxes, we could potentially see the prices of products increase. Both steel and aluminum are used heavily in car manufacturing and the construction industry. These products are also used to create goods and appliances and even your cell phone. Today, President Donald Trump will welcome his first Arab leader to the White House since beginning his second term. King Abdullah of Jordan is visiting hours after the president reiterated his proposal to take over Gaza and permanently relocate millions of Palestinians to neighboring countries, including Jordan. The president suggested he may cut off aid to countries that refuse to take in more Palestinians.
Think of it as a real estate development for the future. It would be a beautiful piece of land.
Would the Palestinians have the right to return?
No, they wouldn't, because they're going to have much better housing.
All of this comes as President Trump has also issued an ultimatum to Hamas, demanding the remaining Israeli hostages be released. The president did not give specifics on the consequences, but the threat followed the terror group's announcement that it would delay the next hostage release, accusing Israel of violating their ceasefire agreement. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear is responding to some comments made by Vice President J.D. Vance over the weekend. In a social media post, the vice president questioned the authority of federal judges that have pushed back on some of President Trump's recent executive orders. In the post, Vance, writing in part, quote, "Judges aren't allowed to control the executive's legitimate power." But in a video posted to his own social media pages, Governor Andy Beshear says the Constitution sets up the courts with the authority to keep the president in check.
Listen, if the president is exceeding his authority, if he's violating the Constitution or statutes, then that's absolutely the court's job. And if the vice president wants to know where to find it, it is the Constitution.
The governor's response comes amid dozens of lawsuits filed to challenge some of President Trump's executive orders, including those regarding immigration and federal employee issues. Kentucky Congressman Andy Barr says he intends to run in the 2026 Senate race for Mitch McConnell's seat if it opens up. Barr announced the move during a Republican campaign retreat in Palm Beach over the weekend. McConnell has not disclosed plans to run for re-election, but has repeatedly said that he intends to serve out the rest of his term, which ends in early 2027.
We have tons of snow across eastern Kentucky. Some places starting to see that rain this morning, but we already have a viewer photo. This is sent in by Larry. This is Highway 7 south in Knott County. Knott County is seeing some heavy snowfall, but even heavier snowfall will be coming in the next couple of minutes. You can take a look at that live pinpoint Doppler radar, seeing the darkest blue as you're traveling towards Leslie and Perry County and portions of Harlan and Letcher County. Now, as we're traveling more towards Laurel and parts of Wayne County, Kentucky, that's where we have that rain chance. South of that London, portions of that I-75 seeing those rain. Now, as we look at those temperatures, it's no surprise that we are seeing those colder temperatures. We are in the 30s for most of the area, but as you're traveling more towards the southern portions, that's when we're seeing the warmer weather, looking in the mid-30s as you're going towards Jacksboro and Middlesboro, those portions of the area seeing the rain already falling in our area. Amelia?
Thank you, Megan, and thank you for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Lawmakers in Washington are trying to cap credit card interest rates with a new bill that could save you money.